In a world of mega blockbuster titles coming out like Hollow Knight Silk Song, the MGS3 remake, that new RGG game, and Garfield Kart 2, the game I'm most excited for is a new game for a long ongoing series. And no, I wish it was Professor Layton, but that game's only on Switch and Switch 2. I ain't got the money for that. I still love Layton though, he the GOAT. Nah, we talking about Inazuma 11 Victory Road, the new game in the Inazuma 11 franchise. To explain Inazuma 11 very simply, it's basically football, but with superhuman special moves like spinning a tornado of fire in the air, manifesting a giant hand, or just summoning penguins. It's an incredible series and one that just gets crazier and crazier the more seasons you watch, the more you get into it. So if you haven't already gotten into it, I highly recommend it. For being one of my personal favorite series of all time, though, I'm mainly more familiar with the anime since that's what I grew up on. I've watched pretty much everything out there, including the movies, but looking back, I've never actually played any of the games except for Strikers on the Wii, which is short and simple, but still quite a fun time. So when Victory Road got announced like a while ago, looking to be a mega celebration of the entire series, you bet I was pumped. I got more excited when I played the public beta that came out a while ago, because I finally got to try out all like the new systems they've been teasing, which was great, and I actually found the new systems to be really fun. It's not fully perfect, mind you. Sometimes like the registry of like when you get the player-to-player like interactions, just like the main gameplay mechanic of Victory Road and just Inazuma 11 in general, can just decide not to work. Because it just feels completely random whether you get like a successful defense against somebody or not. But it's a beta, so I'll just let it go. The Hissastu techniques were all cool to see, though they didn't have many since it was just a beta, but the ones that were there were still cool enough, and felt really great to use in matches, though some of them didn't make any sense, like Devalin having Rotary Sander instead of Drill Smasher, like, come on, that's his main move, that's his main standout move, come on! But yeah, also, I'm not sure if this was a thing in previous games, but it looks like for multi-character moves, you don't need the specific characters involved. So you only need the one character to have it, and just automatically selects the closest character to do it with. Which I think is hilarious, to like have all like the edgy characters start like Xanark or Victor join in on Butterfly Dream, I just think that's hilarious. And I'm sure it'll get like funnier and funnier the more like moves and more characters we get into. Like the combinations are just gonna go crazy. But yeah, on a side note, whoever was doing that cheese tactic where you cross the ball to a player on the opposite end of the goal and somehow that gets past the goalie without any intervention because the game's bugged like that, screw you! I hope you seek therapy for the fact that you have no father figure in your life! Also, if I see Bylong again, I'm breaking his kneecaps. That guy was meta for like 90% of the teams in the beta. There was not one online match I could play where I did not see the enemy team have a Bylong. I swear, it's on site! Anyway, moving on. The beta, for all its shortcomings that it had, was still a really good time, and I still really enjoyed my time with it, and like excited to see what they have. But after playing it for so long, I just kind of like I got bored of it. Now that it's shut down, I just don't know. Like, there's not really much to look forward to. Hey, yo, hold up now. Yeah, the final specs video is where you really start to put into perspective how big the game's gonna actually be. You got Chronicle mode, where you get to go back through the entire Inazuma 11 anime history and basically replay those matches in Victory Road. They also seem to have this sick mechanic where you have to essentially clear history checks to play the match as historically accurate as possible, which sounds freaking amazing. I'm super interested in how they implement that, because I don't know how you're gonna get some of those story beats inside of Victory Road. That's gonna be interesting. There's of course the story mode with our new protagonist Destin Billows, who will be playing as a manager this time around, which is a first for the series. I enjoyed the chapter that they had in the beta, which is the first chapter of the game, but you could tell they're hiding a lot of like the actual big story beats and saving it for like the actual release. So I'll be interested to see how they actually handle the matches, since we barely got any matches, like barely any football in the actual first chapter. But they've been teasing some like interesting gameplay quirks, like because Destin's a manager, he'll be giving advice to that would be key to winning, and you need to like listen to him for the ongoing matches. But they also say that Destin could very well be wrong, and you have to adapt in those matches to what the enemy team could be. So that, I think that's a crazy mechanic, and I'm really interested to see how it goes from there. You also get to recruit 5 students from the same school to join you, which from everyone that I've seen, I'm choosing these guys. I just think they look the coolest. Anyway, next up, the big one, the multiplayer competition mode. So the biggest differences I can see from the beta, like in the actual game, are that because we now have a lot more characters to work with and a lot more special moves compared to like the tiny bit we got in the beta, But also, the biggest thing is that we get all the crazy power-ups from, like, across the series. So you get, like, fighting spirits, you have Armorify, you have Miximax, and totems all at once. I have zero idea how you're gonna have, like, all 6 of these, like, power systems inside, like, fit in the actual gameplay. Like, back in, I think, 2013 Strikers, you had, Miximax, you had Armorify, and fighting spirits, but they were just, like, higher level, like, better Hissastus from my understanding. So I don't know how you're gonna, like, balance all of this in the actual game, but I'm excited. I'm interested to see. They also got 2 new power-ups, which I don't think I've ever seen in the series. There's Bond Transform, where Darren can switch himself out to the better goalkeeper, and Awakening, which looks to be where you hypercharge one character to be essentially a god. Now, we're including these 2 new power systems on top of already the 5 power systems that we have, so I'm confused. I'm gonna have to see. Oh, this isn't including, by the way, all the equipment you get and the skill trees you can customize your characters with. Meaning, you know, Axel from one team could completely play differently from another team's Axel. So this is going. The competition mode this time is gonna have a lot more variety and a lot more spice to it, which is what I was hoping for, like playing the beta all throughout. So, you know, I'm happy with it. I'm really happy with it. I'm really interested to see how they go with this. Just the final 2 bits, which I don't care too much about, but I'll just say them here for the sake of it. Kizuna Station is essentially where you get to create your own character and build up your own little city with furniture. I think it's cute. It's personally not my thing. I think the character creator could be cool to, like, give yourself own moves. I just don't care too much about it. I'll definitely mess around with it a bit, though. And the final one is the friendly player systems. Essentially, they showcase a lot of the player options for the customization. There's a manager mode, so, like, if in case you want, like, a more simplistic control scheme, which isn't, like, as action heavy, they give you that. But I think the most important out of all of this is that it's got crossplay, which I think is huge for a game like this. Which I don't know how big Inazuma 11's audience really is, but having crossplay, like, that makes sure matches are always happening, matches are always filled. That's always a really good thing once your multiplayer game has crossplay, so I'm happy. I'm really happy with that. With all of this and everything else I didn't get to mention, there's so much to look forward to in this game. I'm just super excited. As a fan of the series, it's been dry of new content ever since Orion, and someone who's never gotten into the games too much personally, this game's for sure on the top of my list, and it's coming out on the 21st of August, which is not long at all. Assuming level 5 doesn't hit us with another delay. But, you know, we'll cross that bridge once we get there. But let me know in the comments if y'all are excited for Victory Road as well. If you want to see, like, any more Inazuma 11 content on the channel before Victory Road releases. As someone who's a massive fan of the series, I'd love to know what y'all think. Anyway, that's all from me. I'll catch y'all on the flip side. And peace.